Alright, so it wasn't fully dried out from last time. You want to get it down to a certain moisture. I got impatient and I do what I usually do and throw it in the microwave. Dried it out there, and sometimes it will start to crack. So it's split, cracked a little bit. Instead of having it look like crap, I decided to accentuate them. Colored some resin, filled it in, some turquoise in there. I could show that at a different time. So now I will mount it back in to my chuck on the recess that I made last time. Tighten it down. You don't want it flying out on you. Not too tight, might crack the wood, but you don't want it coming out. For right now, I'm just going to flatten out the side here. It's still a little rough. So I'm going to bring the tailstock in, just for safety reasons again. I don't want it flying out, and then once it's flat, I'll take it off so we can carve it out. Set the tool rest at about middle, about center. I'm going to be trying a scraper first. Run it across, and we'll see how it goes. Let's back it up a little. Too close. You want it close, but you don't want it too close. Once you spin it, it's going to hit it at different angles, so we can do that. Let's try that again. Alright. My scraper, I got it at about a medium speed. Make sure it doesn't hit anything. Tighten it all down. You want to take light passes at first. It's kind of rough, and then go from there. Nice and steady, back and forth. Keep my scraper at perpendicular angle, straight, and then just go back and forth, smooth it out, and then we'll take the tailstock back and carve it out from there. Alright, I got it all flattened out here and took the tailstock out. You don't necessarily have to do that. I like to, because then it's an easier cut when you come in. Flattened it out, moved the tool rest in a little bit. Now I got my two bowl gouges here, a bigger one and a smaller one. I'll use those to start to carve out the inside of it down to a certain wall thickness, I don't know, 1/4 inch or whatever. I'll use the calipers to check on it. But I'll start carving it out and go from there. Lower the tool rest a little. I like it just below the center point. And then carve it out to the bottom. I'll do it a little bit and then I'll check the wall thickness and go from there. Alright, with the bowl gouges, put it on the tool rest about straight like this. I do overhand grip. It's a little more aggressive. You can go underhand like this if you want a more delicate cut, whatever. And then you go in slightly at an angle, tilt your hand, and then just kind of sweep it. You want to do that sweeping action, kind of like the curve of a bowl. So you can go in, again, either like this, you can go like that, and then just go with the point. I mean, you got different types of bowl gouges. This is just a regular one. And then just go in, sweep it. See those nice shavings come off. It means you're doing a good job. Sometimes I got some Forstner bits, like you could take that and hollow out the middle if you want. It'll make it easier. I'm just going at it. So just keep sweeping in, and we'll go from there. Alright, I got most of it carved out now. I actually switched my tool rest over to a S-bowl rest here. It's a Nova, just picked it up. It's got a curve to it so you can get inside easier, get closer, instead of just a straight one. Mostly carved out now. I'm going to switch over to a scraper, bowl gouge it out. The scraper will finish it off, smooth it out, and then I have a caliper here. Keep checking the wall width. You don't want to get too narrow. I've gone right through, and that's not good. And then also through the bottom. You don't want to go through the bottom. I take a longer, go like that, and you measure it up. Make sure you're not going to go through the bottom here and make a hole. So I'll go through with the scraper, same action, straight on, smooth it out, finish off the wall width, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, whatever you want, however thick you want, and go from there. Alright, I got it mostly smoothed out. I brought it down to my wall thickness that I want. Again, don't go too far. Don't go too far. You'll pop a hole in somewhere. Smoothed it out with my scraper. I got the shape, everything that I want. It's still a little rough, but I will turn the speed down on the lathe a little bit. You don't want it too fast when sanding. And then I'll start probably with a 60 grit and then go up from there, 60, 100, 220, probably up to a 300 or 400, just until it feels smooth. Smooth it out, and then you know, you can do different shapes. I just did a basic one, square on the top, flat, simple. This is just a very simple bowl, basic, nothing fancy. I forgot to mention earlier, this is the piece of wood is a cross grain. The grains go this way as opposed to an end grain. The grains go in this way. On a cross grain, carving out the bowl, I don't know if you remember, I was going from the outside down to the end. Just the way the grain is, you go out, down. If you're doing an end grain, if the grain's running parallel to the lathe, you're going to want to start inside and go out. Just works better that way. So I'll fire it up, speed down, sand it rough grit all the way up, and then we'll put the finish on after. Alright, I got it all sanded down up to, I think it was a 400 grit. I forgot to mention, or I had before, but when you sand it, take the tool rest off. You don't want to get your hand caught in there and get taken in. You don't want anything in the way. I sand by hand. Some people have fancy little tools. It burns after a while. It gets hot from the friction. Be advised, don't wear gloves. The glove, again, could get caught. You'll get sucked right in. Sand it down, and then for the finish, I put, it's a type of friction polish, they call it, I guess. It's, I use boiled linseed oil, some denatured alcohol, and then just a shellac, a clear shellac. Mix it all together. I keep it in a little Tupperware thing for whenever I need it. And then you turn the lathe on at a fairly slow speed. Use paper towel. Again, if you use a rag, if that gets caught in there, it's going to suck it right in. Paper towel will break off, it'll rip, whatever. Turn it on. Fairly slow speed. I'll go even slower than that. And then you just dip it in, and then you rub it on as it goes. It'll bring out the grain, pop out the grain a little bit, add some color to it, make it look nice. And then after that's done, dried, I use Deft Clear Wood Finish. It's just a brush on lacquer, high gloss, to make it shine. But first I put the friction polish on, you will let it dry out, and then I'll do that afterwards. So fire it up. And then just go throughout the bowl. Again, be careful it's spinning. It will suck you in, it'll hurt you. Wipe it on, inside, outside. All the little cracks and everything. If you got a nice lathe or you don't want to wreck stuff, you can put some cloth or some stuff down. This is gonna splatter. I could really care less. Just adds character. Rub it down. Alright, I got it all wiped down. And this would be your finished product. Just a decorative bowl. I wouldn't eat out of it. Just to look nice. Let the friction polish dry, and then I will put on some of that clear lacquer afterwards. Give it some shine. You don't have to. You can use whatever finish you want, but that's what I'll do. And that's it. Thanks for watching.